From time to time, we get these motivational bursts where we just feel like doing everything. Either it's late at night or early in the morning or sometime during the day, and we just feel really motivated to work or to work out or to do something amazing. But that motivation rarely lasts. Today, let's talk about the main factors that crush your motivation. Everyone experiences these motivational bursts where we just feel really motivated to do something. But most often that's just an idea. It's just a feeling we get in that particular moment. And then after an hour, half an hour, or maybe even 5 minutes, it's just gone. The motivation is not there anymore. Why is that? Mostly, it's because then we do something else. We don't go right into that task that we're motivated for. Our conditioning makes us not do that task. Let's put this in an example. Let's say you're really motivated to work out, but you don't have anywhere to work out. You just worked out that morning and you were just playing video games. So somehow there's a lot of factors that say, no, you shouldn't work out right now. And that's the biggest reason your motivation does not stay. It's because you don't get involved in the thing you got motivated to do. As soon as that motivation hits, you gotta get into it. Whatever it is, and however stupid it is, get into it. Do it. Even if it's something as crazy as you're really motivated to travel to another country. Find out ways to travel to that country, find out how you can pay for it, and get everything set up. Get fully involved in it. And even if it's like the workout where you just worked on in the morning, screw it. Just work out. Just do it. There should be no top achievement that you're going to do. It's just doing that task however long you're motivated to do it. And then when the motivation leaves, it's fine. Don't go after it. Don't try to keep it in that particular moment. First, go after it. And then just do the task for the sake of doing it. Not to gain anything from it. It's important. You can't go in with the mindset that you're going to achieve something. Another common way to lose your motivation is to get distracted while you're doing the task. You were motivated and you got into it, but then somewhere along the way, you get distracted by something. And then when you have to go back, it doesn't feel as good anymore. You feel like you have to go back. It doesn't come from inside. It just comes from you saying, hey, I was distracted, and now I know I was distracted, now I have to go back into it, and now I don't want to anymore, because the distraction is so much more appealing to me, and then you don't. The point is not to get back into it after you get distracted. The point is not to get distracted in the first place. Look, you're motivated to do this, then just do it. And if you don't want to do it anymore, if you're really not motivated anymore, then you can go do something else. But then don't come back to it, seeking the motivation again. And a good way not to get distracted is just to ask yourself right before you go off to do that other thing, is it worth it? No, definitely not. Because what the motivation does is it gets you motivated to do one thing. And then when you are not motivated to do that anymore, if you sit for just a little bit, you get motivated for something else. You'll find out so much about yourself that you didn't know if you just keep motivated. If you just don't get distracted. So for most things, no, it's not worth it. Another factor which is more long-term that ruins your motivation is that you don't challenge yourself. Let's say you've been in a job that you really loved at the beginning, but you've been in it for like a month or two, or maybe just a week, and it got boring. It got really boring and you really don't want to be there anymore. And that's only because you haven't challenged yourself. You haven't tried to push forward. We as humans love progress. We want to progress as fast as possible. We want to get better, we want to do more, and we want to achieve more. Because when we do, we get really amazing feedback and that makes us feel fantastic. So when you're not pushing yourself, when you're just sitting and just doing the work without having a real clear-cut goal or without having anything you want to achieve, then you'll just do the task and it'll get boring because it'll be the same shit every single day. But when you challenge yourself, you're pushing your own limits. You're trying really hard. Not for the sake of achieving anything, just because you want to. Just because you want to make progress, because you want to keep going. Most people don't know how important it is to challenge yourself and how important it is to keep progressing. So for whatever you got bored to do, write down 2 or 3 goals you want to achieve with that thing. Let's say you got bored of playing the guitar. Well, then challenge yourself in completing 2 or 3 really hard songs to learn them perfectly. Or challenge yourself to be able to write down the notes of any song you hear so that you can repeat it. Or challenge yourself in some creative way, something you really want to do. But challenge yourself, that's important. The final factor I want to talk about is when you're not getting involved. You do the task, but your mind is somewhere completely different. It could be that you're working, but you're thinking about your groceries that you still have to get, that you have to pick up your kids from kindergarten or from your school, or that you have a lot of other stuff to do, that you're having problems in your relationship, that you're not making enough money, and all these negative things just circulate in your mind. And then of course you're not going to have fun while you're doing the job. You're gonna be miserable because all these negative thoughts just keep bumping in your head and you're not enjoying the task or the work you do. Even if you didn't enjoy it in the first place, you can still enjoy it if you focus on it. If you just get involved, try to get better, and just do it fully. You'll be surprised at just how much fun it can be if you just stay present. And a trick I personally use is that whenever something comes up, like grocery shopping or relationship problems, I stop my task, grab my notepad, and write down when I will focus on that. I set time aside later in that day or in the next couple of days to really focus on that problem. And then it'll be off my mind. I took care of it. It's done. And that just gets you motivated again because it'll circulate good thoughts because you're not having these negative thoughts in there anymore. And then you'll have fun doing the task, which will get you motivated to do it more. I hope these 4 things gave you some insight on how to get more motivated. The biggest part, again, is to just be present, just focus on it, and challenge yourself. And then you'll be motivated, you'll do the task with more efficiency and while producing much greater value, and you'll just have more fun along the way. If you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, write me a message on Facebook saying one-on-one. I'll get with you on a call as soon as possible, and let's see how we can make your life better.